right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of SAGED Wrestling. Got a monster of a guest today. Real excited about it. Literally the number 8 pound for pound wrestler in the country, Penn State commit, number 3 when it comes to 126 in the country. My man Mason Gibson, how you doing, my guy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Bro, thanks for taking the time, man. You were awesome just to deal with. And as soon as I got at you, bro, I just appreciate the love, support, just and being willing to join and sit down with me to do this, man. Been a fan for a long time, bro.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So what, jumping right into it, bro, like what led Mason to a mat? How'd you first get caught up in wrestling, bro?
Wrestling. My pap done it, and my dad school. And my dad, he's a big jiu-jitsu and MMA guy. So when I was little, I've just done that with him for a while, and I really done MMA and jiu-jitsu before wrestling. And then we got out there on the mat, and my dad's like, "Hey, you should try wrestling." So when I was younger, done jiu-jitsu, I was like, "All right, let's go some wrestling." And we did some wrestling, and from like then to now, man, it's just been my sport. I love it, and I just continue to do it. I mean, I still do jiu-jitsu, MMA, with my dad and everything. But wrestling just kind of taking over my life, and it's what I love to do. So
Bro, and it shows. It shows with. I remember honestly, whenever I feel like it was such a huge accomplishment. I mean, you're the second eighth grader to ever win Super 32s at the high school level, and that's what really put you on the map for me. I was like, who is this Mason Gibson? Let me check this cat out. Like, and I just been ever since that. What 2019, I think that was. So for the last like 4 years, man, it's just been like, man, this kid is he's. Then I got to see you at Iron Man, which was super cool, just to be able to see you live, like and doing your thing last year. Would you end up third last year? Up there?
yes.
Yeah. Which are you guys going back this year?
Oh yes, sir. We'll be there.
Awesome, awesome. Because I'll tell you, like, whenever I sat down with Jax and Bo, like, just I feel like everybody from Bishop McCourt that I've even interacted with, even the little bit that I got to with Mr. Coach McCourt or Coach Bassett, like he just amazing people, man. Uh, just you guys. It, I don't know what he's doing up there, but it's working,
Right.
and I have the utmost like because I literally wanted to pick his brain, and I told Bo that when I talked to him, like how does he get you guys to this such an elite level? Like you're talking about 3 of the top 10 kids in the country all at the same school. So
Right.
it's like, what is it like every day in that practice room?
Every day we go there, it's not really about like who's better, who's gonna win in the wrestling. It's all about just making each other better. Coach preaches about, it's not about the best wrestler you can be, it's about the best person you can be. So like if you're not, you're a great wrestler, but you gotta be a great person too. So we're always just like motivational videos, and he's always talking with us before practice to get our minds right. And it's all about just being the best person you can be, to your teammates, family, to everybody in the world. And there's really no really competition, bad competition in that room. It's always making each other better, pushing each other. Like one person's going to work hard, everybody's going to work hard. And, at that point, the whole room's just working hard. It's just a great environment to be around. So
I could imagine. I couldn't because I've never had like the kind of partners that you get to go to on a daily basis, and like the tournaments you guys hit, and it, it's that you can literally go to your room and you're with some of the greatest wrestlers in the country. So like not everybody has that, and it's definitely unique, and it's I think you guys like I just steel sharper than steel, bro. Like you guys are just
right.
making each other better every day, and it shows.
Yes, sir.
So how's I guess without I guess I don't know how to really touch on it, but like all right, so you commit to Cornell, right? Verbally,
Right.
you and your brother, right? And how like with the recruiting process, I guess, how did that all go for you before we get into the going from Cornell to Penn State deal? But like how was it? Was it a good experience? Did you enjoy like dealing with the coaches, the Ohio States, the Penn States, the Cornells, the Oklahoma States?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really talk to any of the coaches at all, other colleges except Cornell. My brother's up there, and at 12:01, he's like, "Hey, get ready for that call." You know what I mean?
Yep.
be a 12-1, and right there and then I'm like, let's go. Cornell committed right there.
Legit.
And I mean, the coaches there are great. Great people, awesome facility. Everybody there is great. It wasn't because of them or anything. It was just, I don't know. My brother, he just called me up one day and was like, "Hey, I just don't feel right up here, and I'm gonna go try to go to PS. I'm gonna follow you. Let's keep the tradition going. Brothers. Hopefully get Melvin, my little brother, and Bo Keegan. The cousins up there at Penn State with us. So really, it was just about keeping the family going. Being where my brother is. It's always good to have your brother and your families with you. So
100%, bro. And I couldn't agree more. Like that, I couldn't say that. Like I'm the youngest of three, so if I was sitting in those shoes, I'd wanna follow suit too and help like keep that tradition, keep building with that family,
right,
and see if keep Penn State right where they're at and keep rocking and just take the Gibson name and like you said, cousins and everybody, and let's just keep rocking with it. So I respect it. I like it, man.
yes,
Because
sir.
there was a lot of people that was like, well, honestly, because I just assumed like, hey, all right, since he was in Cornell, and it was like, but so it's exactly really what I thought it was. I was like, awesome, like is at the end of the day, it was like, hey, what made it shift? But now just with it being family, like it's you couldn't have gave a better reason, because at the end of the day, like it's huge with me. So I definitely can respect and excited to see you guys get after it. So you, but you got one more year. How you feeling about this upcoming season, man? You guys are finally, you dealt with the 2 years, and what was that like dealing with this so-called recruiting suspension? Like, what was that? How was that for you and going through all of that?
Really, it didn't really change anything. We just kept practicing. Getting the best competition we can. We kind of used it as like, all right, motivation to work harder, and when the 2 years is up, come back. Show them that we should have been wrestling. You know what I mean? But the last 2 years, it wasn't. I didn't really get to wrestle that much because I've been out for the 2 years we suspended. The 2 years, I had
Seen it.
knee surgeries, and it kind of was like worked out good because these 2 years I was off, I was able to have those surgeries and come back and not miss a lot of tournaments. I mean, I missed a good bunch, but I'm just glad that I was able to get these 2 years, get the knee better, and I'll be back my senior year, which I'm very thankful for. It was hard decision, it was rush it back, go to Soup 32, rush it. Hopefully, it goes well, or just stay away from Soup 32. Come keep a extra month out, and get clear. So like clear before October, before Soup 32, but stay out. Go back in November. So because the college coaches, up there, Sanderson, all them were like, best choice is to stay out for an extra month. So we did, and so my return date is in November. But yeah, those last 2 years were just really didn't change much. Just kept working and everything like that.
Good, bro, and that's good. I'm glad the knees healed up, because honestly, like when you really start to dig in, it's like, man, like, and I knew you had some knee issues, but like, heck, whenever I went to go and like look at like even Flow, I think it has it on it. It was like your record. It was like, all right, you're 26-1, and then it was just like nothing for 2 years. It was like,
Right.
where'd he go? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I feel, like you said, as long as that knee's right, you're feeling good about it all, and it definitely just glad that you're healthy, man. And what are you looking at? 126?
132 right now.
132. All right, all right. So that gives it a little different, because like I was thinking like you and Denevo, or like trying to think of like who you're gonna like meet up with at Ironman at 32. Like that's different. I was thinking 26.
Right. I'm just hoping to get wrestle all the people that I've lost. Get my get back. So just looking
Yeah,
forward.
and that's gonna be a class up there, bro. Like I honestly, and that's one thing that like whenever I was talking to Bo, like he was like, you guys like without it, he was like, yeah, even though we had to deal with that, like the whole suspension and all that. And honestly, I think it's garbage, but that's just me. Like, hey, who am I? But it's just, I just thought it was over the top. I mean, that's a long time to take away from something that wasn't even legit. But that's just me. But that he said that the way that they viewed it was like this, like the Super 32s and the Ironmans and the Powerades, like all of that. Like they just took that and used it as like these are our states. This is our state finals, and I just think you couldn't it, just for that for coach to get that mindset instilled into you guys, and that I think it's awesome, and it just speaks volumes to the room that you're in on a daily basis, bro. Like, and it even with your guys' character, like when you sit back and you really look at how young Bo is to even Jax, and then like speaking with you, like you guys carry yourselves very, very well for anywhere from what 16 to 18 years old. And like you guys are just very humbled human beings that are yes sir, like it just respectful and it makes us such huge fans of you to where like man we wish you guys nothing but the best, and I think you guys got a hell of a future ahead of you, bro.
Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Now, how did that eighth grade year, like you step in and you go to Super 32s, which my opinion, like Iron Man Super 32s, like we're talking like those two, in my opinion, when I sit back and look, like I think they're my favorite ones to watch, and I think they're the hardest, like just the baddest dudes there. So as an eighth grader, you winning that, like how does that feel? Man, that's crazy. The second one to ever do it. Like that's crazy, bro. That's crazy because there's been a lot of bad dudes that's tried it, and you were one of two men in the history to do it.
Oh yeah, I mean at the start of the season, eighth grade season, we're like, you should go and try win as eighth grade, So I'm like, all right, let's do it. I wasn't scared. I mean, a little nervous, obviously going in there, but I just took it as another tournament, one match at a time, and the first two or three, were tech falls, and at the end of the first day, starting to get a little more, and the second day, I had to stay focused, get ready, you know what I mean, eat right, drink right, do everything well, the warm up, and because I knew the second day was gonna be tough, you know what I mean, and I had quarterfinals, I had like I think it was 11-3 win, and the semis was the match of like the day, you know what I mean, me versus Maxis Martinez, we've wrestled before, but that was one of the toughest match I probably had in my whole life. Down 3-2 and got a stall call, at the end, which made it go overtime. We didn't score in the first overtime period. Then it was just 1/32, and I scored first, so I went down and got out, and that was
Awesome.
it was at that moment where like, you know what, this is my tournament. I'm in the finals. Probably the hardest match of the turn of my run was in the semis, and I was up 5-0 in Corey Lane, was able to hold him off for the 5-4 win. But yeah, I mean, just going, after that tournament, it was kind of like, confidence is up. Still in junior high, ranked number one in the country in high school already, and just kept going on from there. Nothing really changed. Just kept the same schedule. Workouts and mindset. Didn't get too high on the wins. You know what I mean? Stayed humble and just went on from there, and just kept continuing to wrestle and do my best, and keep the same mindset as just one match at a time. Every tournament at a time, one tournament. It was just great. You know what I mean?
No, I could imagine. I couldn't imagine, but like I can imagine that it would have been just a surreal type of thing. But I can definitely I like vouch for you, like to anybody that watches this, like you are like go back watch any interview that has ever been done from Flo to anybody, like you are a ridiculously humbled young man that has a hell of a head on his shoulders, and the way that you views it, you know what I really honestly like, my favorite thing about you is honest to God, bro, like it's my the way you take L's, like even
Right.
at Ironman, like you handle that as like, hey, like learn from it, like you don't you can literally listen to some of them and be like, damn, like you wouldn't even have thought you lost, and I can respect it. Like you're not pumped, like you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wish I would have got the win, but at the end of the day, like you use it just differently. Like I've watched guys win and be down on themselves because they didn't do the work that they wanted to do. And so at the end of the day, like it's cool to see somebody you're wanting to use it and just fuel, hey, take this, learn from it. We're going to keep grinding. We're going to go get the next best thing. And you,
Right.
you do that very well, bro. It's probably better than anybody I've seen in the country. And that's I've talked to a lot of guys, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
So how excited you been out on? I know you train with M2 with so David Taylor. I know you're with his like you guys do a lot of training with him, but like outside of that, you been hitting Penn State at all? Have you been down to the campus and just wrestling around? Do you guys are you guys able to? Is that or is that like kind of a no until you graduate?
No, sometimes we go to the NLWC room, not like before and after the season. But other than that, just go to M2 Monday and Wednesdays, and it's a little drive, hour and 10, so we can only go like 2 to 3 days a week. But outside of the M2 room, no, we get up there when we can, train with NLWC guys. But other than M2 and NLWC, we really can't get up there all the time. You know what I mean? So we try to get up there as much as we can, and they're always welcoming us there. So we go up there. It's no different than any other. We're not like, oh, who we're gonna go wrestle. It's not awkward. You know what I mean? They're always
Yeah,
and they care for us. So it's always good to go up there and see that kind of stuff up there. You know what I mean? So.
that's awesome. Was it easy? Like, all right, so say if your brother would have went anywhere, was it like say if it would have been Ohio State or Iowa or just anywhere, like was it more or less like, hey, we're keeping family together. It doesn't matter wherever he goes, wherever Eric rolls, that's where we're rolling. We're gonna keep this thing together. Or was it like, hey, I feel like regardless, like even if he would have chose a different school, Penn State was gonna be it for you.
Um, he did play factor in it, but also was like how far away from home I was. Like I was like that's a far away. So it's like probably not. But Ohio isn't too far away. You know what I mean? 3-4 hours. And same with Cornell, wasn't too far away, but.
Yeah.
Really had to do the distance, and where Eric went, and then he was like, you know what, we're coming back home. So I'm like, all right, we're going back home. So,
Awesome. And he's there right now, right? Like he's already with Penn State doing his thing, rocking, right?
yes, sir. He's been up there he just got up there like probably half the summer, moved in, started summer classes. So,
What weight's he looking to hit?
probably 57.
57? I like him there at 57. I do. That'll be a night. And whenever you get up, I mean it's kind of hard right now with you at 32. Kind of sounds like because like I was reading like everybody's kind of is it 25 because you were at 26, and so it's like is it 25? Is it 33? And it's like man, you really don't know if he's gonna grow. But like, do you have an idea of what you want to be at come your freshman year?
Really, it's kind of like whatever the coaches want me at and where they think the best fit is. Because I know they'll put me on a good plan, to help me stay down at 125 or 133 or whatever they want me at. But most people are like, you should go 25. Because I'm not. I mean, I'm pretty stocky, but I'm not the biggest guy. You know what I mean? I'm like 5'2". You know what I mean? So,
What are you walking around at? Like
um,
the off season, what do you walk around at?
like off season, high 30s, but like right now, because I'm not really be able to work out or wrestle, I'm like in the 40s right now.
All right, all right. So I mean that's a little bit of a cut, but like you said, like with the way that they got and like you got some of the best nutritionists like that put you on like just such an amazing like meal plan and like meal prepping and everything just like and then with the workouts on top of it. Like I feel like back in the day, if somebody would have told me, "Hey, I'm at 140 and I'm going to go down, but I'm going to do 125," I'd be like, "Man, like I feel like 15's a lot." And like maybe 33 is the way to go. But at the end of the day, like I don't know. I guess everybody's body's different, man. And I think you'd be a killer at 25 though. So like I get why people saying it. And I think when you look at Penn State as a whole and what they have and who's there, I I love you at either one to be honest with you. But I really think that like if you're able to do 25, like man, I feel like that's just a setup for like man, like,
Right.
how does this team lose? Like it's just now you're putting Gibson at 25. Like holy,
Oh,
like it yeah, it's that's a crazy setup.
yes, sir.
But I'm excited for you, man. I'll definitely tell you that. And then I even like in this stuff, out of everything you've done, I mean, you got 5 PJW state championships, Super 32, winning it in the eighth grade. You're taking third whenever you went to the UWW Cadet Nationals, two-time Fargo champ, freestyle Greco. Like out of everything, one Powerade, and you were the most outstanding wrestler at the tournament. Like out of all of these things, like what's your like when you look back and what's the biggest accomplishment? Like, man, I'm good. Like that. That's the one. That one hit home. That was big for me.
Um, Probably Super 32 eighth grade year. You know what I mean? Like, Super 32 has been going on for what 22, 23 years right now, and only being the second one ever to do. You got Spencer Lee who tried, he couldn't. You know what I mean? It's kind of like put myself out there. Like that was great. You know what I mean? Something I just made history that I
Yeah.
can't. It's there. Can't get it back. So I put myself permanently there in the history books for Super 32. So it's probably Super 32. So
No doubt. And I respect it. That belt's so sick. Like I love what I love the belt too. So
uh,
that belt hanging up there and to say that you did it in the eighth grade, man, that's guy. I can definitely respect that answer because you've done some amazing things.
yes sir, yes sir. Appreciate it.
What do you think about this new this 3-point takedown whenever you get up there next year?
Those new college rules. I didn't really look into them a lot. I got people are thinking a lot about them, but at the end of the day,
Yeah, they
sure,
are.
just wrestling. You know what I mean? 3 points, 2 points. It's just wrestling to me. So
Yep.
I'm out there and score points. Don't really bother me.
I respect it though. And I guess that's the best way to look at it. I've got into full blown conversations with guys on how they do and how they don't, because it's interesting to me, like on like what everybody's going to take, and especially with somebody like, all right, you got one more year of high school, but it's like, how do you transit? Like, I think it was a good thing, me personally, because, um, like say Caleb Romero from Ohio State, like would always watch him, amazing on his feet, just was a killer on his feet. He would take dude down and in the first period, he'd take him down 5 times and then kick him and he's up 5-10 and at the end of the first. And it's just like I feel like God, he just smoked that. Like
Right.
it wasn't a 5-10 match. You know what I mean? This dude should be down 15-5. So I feel like with that kind of stuff, like, and I'm just using that as an example because I think of him because he was so amazing on his feet. But like just so I think it was good for that aspect of it. And
Right.
everybody, a lot of fans want to see points, you know what I mean? And I think that that's what they're trying to do. Some things I think are a little off the wall, but like you said, as somebody in your situation as a wrestler, like at the end of the day, like this is something that's out of your control. All you can do is like put your best foot forward, whatever they decide they want to do, and just wrestle. And just, I guess it would just be different. Like, all right, hey, I'm down 4, like, all right, or down 2 or down 3 and like there's 10 seconds left and just trying to do the math. I'm like, all right, hey, or I can't let him get to take that. Like that kind of would play a factor. Like whenever like you're 30 seconds to go and you're like, all right, I'm up 3 or down 3. So like if I get the takedown, we're tied up. Like I guess just little things like that might be a little bit different to wrap my head around. But other than that, like you said, it's just wrestling, man. Putting it out there, you put it out there, it doesn't matter how many points, whether it's 2, 3, 5, like who's ever going to get them takedowns is who's going to win. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but that's awesome, bro. And I'm definitely just super pumped for everything you got coming up. And uh, whenever you went, because you went to the state tournament, what was it? Just your freshman year? That's all you've been able to do, right? Just was
Right.
that it? You took second, lost to Brent Unger.
Yes sir. Yep.
So this is like you finally get a chance to get back to that state tournament, and I guess what does that mean to you, that state title, like to get back there to for your second and final time? Like, is it something that's very like, I mean, obviously it is. That's kind of a silly question, but like, man, with only being able to be there once throughout your high school career with some of the things that happen, you take second, like winning that state championship, like what is it meaning to you?
It's gonna mean a lot of things. I was able to. It's kind of like I've been out for like 2 years. Injury. It's kind of shown that I was able to get over those and hopefully get that gold. And I'm not gonna settle for second this time. I'm gonna make sure I win it. You know what I mean? But yeah, since freshman year, I've just been in and out of wrestling, and hopefully, keeping fingers crossed that my senior year goes very well. And I'm coming in with a different mindset. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going to take it all. You know what I mean? Gold. That's the mindset. You know what I mean? But I mean, one match at a time. Very humble at it. Not
Yep.
cocky. I'm not settling for anything less this season. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But
And
yeah,
if you'd look at it any other way, so like I don't look at it as cocky. Like I can appreciate you looking at it like that because like if you viewed it anything other than that, it wouldn't make sense. So like I definitely appreciate it.
yeah. I mean, this gold. The chance this season. It's going to mean a lot. If I went, if or when I win that gold, it's just going to prove that I was able to overcome all these challenges. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just don't give up. Just keep going. Keep your head up. You know, just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And never lose sight of that goal. You know what I mean? Even though how low you are in your career, just keep pushing and you'll get it. You know what I mean?
And I love that though. Like, and honestly, that's like my favorite part of your story though. And I think you just hit the nail on the head because so many kids that are great wrestlers that might not be able to showcase it because they did deal with an injury earlier on. Like, um, say if it would happen early and it makes them want to quit, makes them not want to not quit, but like just not have that drive, not have that love because they,
Right.
they dealt with some of the things you did. But like whenever they look at your story, they can be like, yo, Mason kept rocking, like he kept pushing, he and looked like now he's wrestling for one of the greatest schools in the country, and he's doing some amazing things. So like that's what one thing I love about your story, bro. And I think and I if honestly if like 5,000 people watch this, and if we get one or two to sit there and be like, bet, you know what?
Right.
Mason went through all that hell. He dealt with that knee and the surgery and this and getting healthy and this and he came back, and in his senior year he lit the world on fire. He goes and wins Ironman. He goes and wins states. He goes, you know what I mean? Wins like
Right.
wherever you guys end up going. You hitting Super 32s again too?
They will be, yes, but not me not right now, but everybody else will be.
Uh, so on the schedule, really, right now you'll definitely, but you will be at Ironman come
Oh,
what is it, November?
I think early December.
Early December. Yeah, it is. It's like right around that time. Like, but you'll be able to, I guess, be. Is it a health thing? Why like the Super 32 deal?
Yeah, October, Super 32 month. That's when I get cleared. But doctors and all the colleges, coaches are like, just take your time, don't rush it back. And me and my dad agreed on just take Super 32 off and just come back healthy for the season. So
I like that though. Like and I forgot Super 32s is earlier. Like I've never been up to it, so it's actually before Iron Man. For some reason, I thought Iron Man was like what kicked it off and got it rolling. So Super 32s is in October,
yep.
and then you just taught me something, bro. I appreciate that. But so really, you think that's what you'll break out on, like get staying healthy, staying rolling, like get it started with like heading straight to Ohio and heading to Walsh Jesuit and kicking it off with Iron Man, like to get back at it.
Yeah, that's the plan. November, about a month after I get cleared. There's also like a preseason tournament called the Surge, and it's run by PA
Yep.
Power, and I do it all the time for them. And that's what we're looking at to get the return. Get warmed up again. So
Like,
that and Iron Man are probably my first two.
awesome, man. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely be there, man, to definitely be rooting you on and to check you out because I tell you what, with it being your final season, I'm ready. And out of all of them though, like everything that like you said, like man, you get avenge some of them losses. If there's one that really kind of sits back and eats at you, is there one in particular that you're really chasing down and want to see again?
You know, it's kind of hard to pick. I got two of them that I really want to get back is Ben Davino and Kyler Larkin. They're both wrestling 32 right now, and Larkin's school just got invited to Ironman, so I'll see both of them there. And
Awesome.
they both kept me from winning those two big tournaments for Super 32 and Fargo, so those are the two that I really want back. So
Absolutely, and they're about to wrestle each other, which is kind of. I wish they would have did like a four-way bracket because then they just called them two up to wrestle each other at who's number one. So like, to my opinion, like if they could have threw, well, I don't know if you'd have been like with your knee and everything, but it would have been so like have them two, you, and you know how they've ran that sometimes like in little four-way,
right,
like yeah, that would have been. I don't know who you think the fourth one should have been. Like if they did do that and they have them two, you and
probably Aiden Valencia, probably.
probably yeah,
Yeah,
because Aiden's been killing it too. Even on the like, he did some amazing things in the freestyle circuit this year. Like he really has came along, man. He really has. Man, would that have been an awesome one? Those four names, like I would drive to Wisconsin for that. Like for real, from Ohio, I'm coming. Like that's for sure. But I'm glad that the knee's getting healthy though, bro. I really am. Like it, and I hope everything that like you that thing you keep that thing healthy, everything goes smooth. Uh, and I hope honestly, like, are you 100%? You feeling 100%?
I'm feeling 100% right now. You know what I mean? It feels like I haven't had surgery. I go to PT Monday and Wednesdays, and I'm just killing it. And my PT, he's like, "Did you even have surgery?" You know what I mean? Stuff like that, because it's just I'm getting back there. I'm getting back to my old self. Getting back in shape. Back on the diet and just getting myself ready. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel 100%. But just gotta weigh it out a little bit more. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. No, be safe about it for sure. And I couldn't agree with them more. Like, I mean, they definitely know what's best for you. And like, you got such a long career ahead of you, brother, because like you have such a beautiful freestyle. And you have freestyle like aspirations after this too, or is it like, hey, let's get to Penn State, let's focus on winning national titles, or is there like, hey, chase down some U20s, try to get on the world team? Like, is there anything along those lines, or is it, I guess like, what's next? I guess for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like I love folk style. Folk style's on top. For my
Me,
opinion, I'm
me
always gonna do freestyle and Greco. You know what I mean? Because wrestling to me is just wrestling. So I mean, freestyle is fun to do. But yeah, world teams, always gonna be my path. Probably 2024, the Olympic team trials out State College, doing those. And yeah, just as much as I do folk style as how much I'm gonna do freestyle and Greco. So.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're gonna stay grounded with Greco too, huh?
I mean, yeah, that's the plan. I mean, I'm not. We may not be the biggest Greco guys, but
But I
I like.
like that though. And honestly, I think a big name like you, because like brother, like for I mean, for being a senior in high school, like bro, like Mason Gibson is known across the country. Like I feel like you being in Greco, like I feel like Greco don't get the love that it should, and I feel like I wish more bigger name like somebody like you being in it's gonna draw people to it. Like so, I mean, I think, and you're good at it. Like you don't go to Fargo and win it without having some talent in it. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, like you're good. So you take this big name that everybody knows, everybody loves to watch. You throw him in Greco and at one of the U20s, U23s, whatever it is, your senior level, and I think you're gonna just help Greco a lot. I do. I think it ain't gonna hurt it. That's for damn sure.
Right, right, yes, sir.
But that's awesome. I didn't know that like you were wanting to continue with that. That's awesome, bro. That is. And then what's it like training at M2 with David, man? Like that's got to be. I mean, when I really look at it, like I said earlier, it's just crazy because like you literally go from Coach Bassett and having this amazing room at Bishop McCourt to heading to Penn State to where it's like the room. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're hitting M2 with David Taylor, world champ. Like, uh, just such a phenomenal, like one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Love the dude, love watching him. He's from Ohio. He's from right around where I'm from, so always been a big fan of him. And but what's it like? What's M2 like? Like, what? I mean, has it been a huge help with your progression and where you're at in your career?
For sure, yeah. The coaches up there, Coach Mark, Coach Brad Pataki, David Taylor. Um, they do a lot for the wrestlers and their kids there. They're not all about themselves. And they're always just happy to be there. They're willing to work with kids. You know what I mean. So, but the practices there, they're not like crazy. You know what I mean. They're always working on things. If you need to work on something, they'll help you. But like during the season, they're sometimes they start out slow, then it get picked up. You know what I mean? Then we have a cool down or a cool down practice, or if you needed a wake up practice. But other than that, it's just great being up there. Everybody's up there to get better, and it's not really there's no cockiness up there. It's just all loving each other, having fun, and just the coaches are just awesome up there. David's just a great guy, Brad's a great guy, Coach Mark's a great guy. So.
That's awesome, bro. And I figured it was something along them lines because like you've put yourself around and I feel like everybody that I've talked to, like you know what I mean, like you reach out to these great wrestlers, but you guys surround yourselves with great people, and um you guys have great coaches, great teammates, great just you put this good group of people around you, and it's there's everybody that seems that I've talked to that's been a huge recipe to their success, and which makes sense. You put yourself around a bad crowd, you're not gonna put everything you got into what it is, and
Right.
um, from if I mean it sounds like from your brother to uh, it, to the coaches, to your teammates. I mean, it just sounds like you got the right recipe, bro, and the right mindset to where it's going to be exciting, and you're going to light the world on fire, and we can't wait to watch you do it, baby.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. You know, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Absolutely. I know it is, and that's why whenever you guys do, because like I said, like you're the number third Bishop McCourt man, and at the same time, like I can't wait for Iron Man because honestly, I want to link up with all three of you guys and um throw you guys a shirt for I mean just for something little, just saying hey, appreciate what y'all did, but at the same time, just appreciate you guys stepping onto the platform and letting people like he just because we all get to see you guys on the mat. You know what I mean? We watch you on the flow. We watch you guys on you go to these big tournaments and see you guys doing your thing. But it's like, who are they? Who are they off the mat? You know what I mean? Like even as me, bro. I'm a 35-year-old man that wrestled from the time I was 5 till I got out of school and loved the sport. Want to continue to be around it, and uh, I want to know. Like I'm curious. I'm a fan. Like you know what I mean? And that's what. And there's just been so many other people that's been like, oh man, we got to get him. Hey, get him. Try this. And it would blow your mind how many people were like, "Hey, yo, you got to get Mason Gibson on the show. You got to get Mason on the show."
Right.
Which I already was like, "Bro, I'm on it. Like, I got it. Like, I ain't letting him not get on it."
Right.
So, I definitely appreciate it, man. And like I said, I really think that like your story just through the past 2 years, like you said, the ups, the downs, everything you've been through, and I, it's a hell of a story that's gonna, like I said, if it helps two, three people, man, and we're able to get these kids to realize like, hey, man, keep grinding. Like you said it best, man. To be honest, man, you're gonna be an easy guy to make some reels with, that's for sure. Because some of those things that you've said have just been awesome, and it's definitely appreciated, man. It really is more than you know, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But I won't. Shoot, I already kept you for 40, man. I was like, I'll keep it to 30. I don't want to take up his time on a Sunday, but
Right.
uh, I really do appreciate it, and you you have been phenomenal, man. You work with me just so easily, and just taking the time doing this, and just bro, I'm sitting here looking at everything like because I've watched all your stuff before work. That just your resume, even with dealing with what you've dealt with, bro, is such an amazing thing, and can't wait to see you get back after it this year and the future and what it holds for you. Like we're it ain't just me. I can promise you that. There's a pile of Mason Gibson fans, bro. That can't wait for you to get back after it, big guy.
I appreciate it all the support and everything, man.
Oh, you got it here. I can. That's that. You got that. That's on God, bro. Like we really are rooting for you, and I hope that knee stays. It will. It's gonna stay healthy, and you're gonna go light the world on fire, and we're gonna watch you do it, bro.
I appreciate it. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Sir. But all right, my man. I will let you go, and then thanks again. And one thing I do, like after you win this state championship this year and you win this Ironman or however it goes, like, but I know once you finish off this season and you're standing on top of that podium and in PA, let's link up again. Let's do another little show
Do
and
it.
tell them just to show them like, hey, shit was hard, but now look where we can be. You know what I mean? So like, I want to be able to sit down and do that with you, bro. If whenever you get the time, I know you'll be doing some transferring and getting ready to get to Penn State and all that. But whenever you get some time and after you win that state tournament, let's link up.
Hey, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
I I appreciate you again, brother, and we'll definitely stay in touch, and I'll catch you up at Iron Man. All right,
All right, sounds good to me. Yes, sir.
Mason, take care, big man.
All right, take care. Thank you for having me.
All right.
See ya.
Mason Paris, Mason Gibson. And I love it, man. And Mason Gibson has been honestly, and I like I said when me and Mason Gibson started talking, is I said Mason Paris at first, but it's crazy to me. Like this kid won Super 32s in the eighth grade, and I remember watching, and and it said like Forest Hills. I'm like, what high school was this kid? Like Forest Hills? Like where is he from? And like it all just like then I realized like it's a middle school. Like that ain't the high school, and I was just like, what? Like it's just crazy. Like and then really started to follow him, and then like you start to dig into everything that he's done, and the kid's just a winner, and and like I said earlier, even when he doesn't, like he just said, like he just the way he carries himself. Like don't get me wrong, like everybody wants to win, nobody wants to lose, but he's humbled about it. Like he looks at those losses like, hey, it is like this where we're going to learn from it, we're going to grow from it, we're going to keep grinding, and then boom, he gets his knee injury, and instead of like letting it put him in a hole and drag him down or make him worry, and he he's doing the right things. He's making sure like, hey, at the end of the day, don't rush back so you can try to go get another Super 32 belt. Like, nah, sit back and like whatever coaches are around him, and I can tell you now, like he's got an amazing one at Bishop McCourt. Like I hope to God my son can wrestle for somebody like Mr. Bassett one day. And then he's just heading on to even better things at Penn State, and they're just they're all going to give him the right info, the right stuff is the small and skinny of it. But at the end of the day, he's a dog, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him, and we'll see how it goes, man. Like Penn State bound. Big Ten. It's a whole nother world, but I think this boy can handle it. I think he can run with anybody, and we're gonna find out. His brother Eric's a dog too. Like I mean, Penn State got some monsters coming their way for sure, but we'll find out. But anyway, thank y'all for joining us as always, and we love y'all. Stay following, like, follow, do your thing. Makes it easier for us to keep doing this, and I don't want to quit doing it. So, thanks again.